I experienced a flash of panic, but that was to be expected. It never changes. Even after 2 decades negotiating for human lives, you still feel fear, even in a role-playing situation. I calmed myself down. Sure, I was a street cop turned FBI agent playing against real heavyweights, and I wasn't a genius. But I was in this room for a reason. Over the years, I had picked up skills, tactics, and a whole approach to human interaction that had not just helped me save lives, but, as I recognize now looking back, had also begun to transform my own life. My years of negotiating had infused everything from how I dealt with customer service reps to my parenting style. "Come on, give me the money or I cut your son's throat right now," Mnookin said. Testy. I gave him a long, slow stare, then I smiled. "How am I supposed to do that?" Mnookin paused. His expression had a touch of amused pity in it, like a dog when the cat it's been chasing turns around and tries to chase it back. It was as if we were playing different games with different rules. Mnookin regained his composure and eyed me with arched brows as if to remind me that we were still playing. "So you're okay with me killing your son, Mr. Voss?" "I'm sorry, Robert. How do I know he's even alive?" I said, using an apology and his first name, seeding more warmth into the interaction in order to complicate his gambit to bulldoze me. "I really am sorry, but how can I get you any money right now, much less $1 million, if I don't even know he's alive?" It was quite a sight to see such a brilliant man flustered by what must have seemed unsophisticated foolishness. On the contrary, though, my move was anything but foolish. I was employing what had become one of the FBI's most potent negotiating tools, the open-ended question. Today, after some years evolving these tactics for the private sector in my consultancy, the Black Swan Group, we call this tactic calibrated questions. Queries that the other side can respond to, but that have no fixed answers. It buys you time. It gives your counterpart the illusion of control. They are the one with the answers and power, after all. And it does all that without giving them any idea of how constrained they are by it. Mnookin, predictably, started fumbling because the frame of the conversation had shifted from how I'd respond to the threat of my son's murder to how the professor would deal with the logistical issues involved in getting the money. How would he solve my problems? To every threat and demand he made, I continued to ask how I was supposed to pay him and how I was supposed to know that my son was alive. After we'd been doing that for 3 minutes, Gabriella Blum interjected. "Don't let him do that to you," she said to Mnookin. "Well, you try," he said, throwing up his hands. Blum dove in. She was tougher from her years in the Middle East, but she was still doing the bulldozer angle, and all she got were my same questions. Mnookin rejoined the session, but he got nowhere either. His face started to get red with frustration. I could tell the irritation was making it hard to think. Okay, Bob. That's all," I said, putting him out of his misery. He nodded. My son would live to see another day. "Fine," he said. "I suppose the FBI might have something to teach us." I had done more than just hold my own against 2 of Harvard's distinguished leaders. I had taken on the best of the best and come out on top. But was it just a fluke? For more than 3 decades, Harvard had been the world epicenter of negotiating theory and practice. All I knew about the techniques we used at the FBI was that they worked. In the 20 years I spent at the Bureau, we'd designed a system that had successfully resolved almost every kidnapping we applied it to. But we didn't have grand theories. Our techniques were the products of experiential learning. They were developed by agents in the field, negotiating through crisis and sharing stories of what succeeded and what failed. It was an iterative process, not an intellectual one, as we refined the tools we used day after day. And it was urgent. Our tools had to work, because if they didn't, someone died. But why did they work? That was the question that drew me to Harvard, to that office with Mnookin and Blum. I lacked confidence outside my narrow world. Most of all, I needed to articulate my knowledge and learn how to combine it with theirs, and they clearly had some. so I could understand.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.